Welcome back to day 22 of the Stardew Valley Min-Max and 100% Perfection Guide, where we will be trying to earn as much money as possible in as little time as possible and achieve the perfection goals as soon as possible. Our goal for this spring is to earn enough money and gather enough materials to plant 640 starfruit seeds on the 1st of summer. We have come a long way since the beginning of this run, where we started with nothing but our tools and a few seeds. We met all the townsfolk and immediately began trying to earn as much money as possible from foraging, fishing, and getting lucky. This money was spent on necessities such as a pack upgrade, fiberglass rod, and kale seeds. If we want to be able to maintain 640 starfruit crops in the summer, we will need farming level 6 to unlock the quality sprinkler. We gained the needed XP from our kale harvests. We tirelessly spend days fishing for huge profits in order to upgrade our pickaxe to gold by day 11. Then we must continue our fishing grind to earn enough money to unlock the vault bundle to unlock the desert bus. We also must gather enough resources to make some low tier sprinklers for our kale batches and reach the bottom of the mines to receive the Skull Key, which unlocks Skull Cavern. Before we start our Skull Cavern grind, we spend a little more time in the mines farming dust sprites in order to receive the Burglar's Ring. And finally, we are able to start diving into Skull Cavern, where we try to collect as much iridium ore as possible to smelt into bars to sell for huge profits. Our goal is over 180,000 G for seeds and deluxe speed grow, and 80 gold bars, iron bars, and refined quartz to craft 80 quality sprinklers. In this video, we'll be visiting Skull Cavern again, and this dive easily ends up being one of my best ones ever, with an insane haul. If you think the last dive was decent with just 65 iridium, this dive will blow that out of the park. I'll do my best to explain every tip and trick I use to make this happen. If you find these videos interesting, please consider giving a like, and if you're interested in seeing the rest of the run, please consider subscribing. And feel free to leave a comment with what you liked or with any suggestions. Let's get started. Today, the spirits are in good humor, which is the second best luck of the day. This means our luck can be increased anywhere from 0.02 to 0.07. The daily luck can range overall anywhere from minus 0.1 to plus 0.1, and will affect a great number of things while we mine. We will start by crafting some furnaces and placing them, as we will need a lot to smelt all of our iridium ore into bars. We need to do a bit of inventory organizing, as we only want to take what we need to Skull Cavern, as we'll be getting a lot more stuff. It is very nice that we have 3 rows of inventory now, so we can hold a lot more items. Obviously, we will need our sword and pickaxe, but any other tools, like our axe, hoe, we don't want to bring, as they will just take up space and we won't use them. I'm bringing those artifact troves because I know I'll be picking some up anyway from the desert trader. Of course, bring any bombs that you have, because bombs are essential for Skull Cavern dives. Also, since we'll be getting more copper, iron, gold, coal, iridium, stone, all of the ores and stuff, we'll bring those with. And we have some mushrooms and spicy eel. The spicy eel is nice because it gives us +1 luck and +1 speed, so definitely want to bring those with. Any other energy and healing items are nice too. I also bring some rubies and diamonds. The rubies I can trade for spicy eel, the diamonds for triple shot espresso. Both of these will increase my speed by 1 for a total of +2, and you can already notice the difference it makes in my speed. We enter the Skull Cavern to floor 1, and we're already off to a lucky start. I'm going to mine that iron and then get to that staircase as fast as possible. There's a nice cluster of rocks right here, so I'm going to use a bomb when I already have. And we get pretty lucky and get a hole already. Anytime I need to think, I will pause the game So as you saw when I used the bomb, I had paused the game and put it in my hotbar. Right here, I'm thinking about blowing up this cluster because I'm getting a little bit greedy and thinking, oh, one of those rocks has got to get me another hole. But as you can see, I do go back to swipe that iron, but that was a waste of time. I already had that ladder right over there for me, and I didn't take it, so that was a mistake. Always go for a ladder if you see a ladder. Right here, there's another cluster, which leads us to another staircase. More clusters, so obviously bombs are the way to go. We have to be careful with how many bombs we use, but as long as we're getting enough iron and gold to make more bombs with, we should be fine. Right there, there's a gold cluster, so we're gonna blow it up. I see a red mushroom up there. Red mushrooms sell for 75 gold, so they can add up quickly, but they don't restore any energy or anything, so they aren't useful in that regard, so they're generally not worth picking up if you don't have the room for them, or if they're out of the way. Don't go out of your way for them. If there ends up not being many ore nodes around and you find yourself just mining rocks, always go for the stone nodes. The stone nodes are nice because they guarantee a stone, and they also therefore guarantee mining XP. Anytime you get an item from mining something, you get some mining XP. Right here is one of my favorite floors. It's a smaller floor, which means you have a better chance of finding a staircase. And the Mega Bomb can blow up pretty much the whole floor, which is always nice. You'll see me corner this slime right here, and you'll see me doing 0 damage to that armored bug right there. They're actually impossible to kill right now. Later you can get an enchantment that allows you to kill them, but right now, just ignore them. The thing about those bugs is anytime there is one, you will never get the bonus for finding a staircase. The staircase bonus, you get a little increased chance every time you kill all enemies on the floor, but if the bugs are there, then you'll never be able to get that bonus. So in that case, it's usually not worth it to try to kill all the enemies. Right there, I don't notice the hole right away, so I blow up that cluster, but then obviously I pick the hole over the staircase. Obviously you do lose a little bit of health from the holes, but it is far more worth it to go down holes. They are what get you down in Skull Cavern, and the further you get down, the more iridium you get, and that's the goal. As you saw on the last floor, we had encountered the purple fog, where a bunch of serpents will start coming and attacking you. If you're trying to farm serpents, it's really nice, but in our situation, we're just trying to get down, so we're going to ignore that. We get another hole. We're getting pretty lucky with the holes. Right here, I need to pause because of the serpent, and you can see I right-click to block, which you have to have, fast reaction speed, but if you're able to pause the game, then you can think exactly what you want to do. And I was like, yeah, the best thing to do in this situation is to block so I don't take damage from the serpent and then start attacking it. Right here, I'm attacking downward on it, which is the worst angle to attack it on. Again, using the block on the sword is always a good option, but it definitely feels like attacking the serpents at a downward angle is the most difficult. Right here we have an iridium crab. You're able to tell it beforehand because it's off-centered from the grid of rocks. We continue killing the serpents, and you'll see me spend a little bit more time on killing serpents as well as iridium crabs, because serpents, they'll drop bombs, spicy eel, which are nice, and the iridium crabs will usually drop some iridium, which is very nice. The slimes are definitely not as worth it to kill because they have much more health, but when they're in a corner like this, they're a bit easier to deal with. These floors are usually nice because they typically have quite a few rocks. I think we got a little bit unlucky with this one, but they also have a lot of mummies. Right now, it's not worth our time to kill the mummies. We'd rather keep going down in the mines, but if we were to kill them, then blow them up with a bomb, we would get solar essences, which we can use to craft more mega bombs, and you could also rarely get cloth from mummies, which is nice. Here's a prime example of an iridium node, which is off-centered, so it's an imposter. It is a crab, but again, we get some iridium ore from it, which is nice. You'll also notice when I use the bomb, the crab actually, the iridium, like, rock came off of it, so that blowed up, and you could just see the little green crab left, which usually happens when you blow it up with a bomb. I think it'll also happen if you like keep hitting it with your pickaxe, possibly, but could be wrong in that regard. Here is an iridium node. Still no luck with the prismatic shard. Today we have to get a prismatic shard, because if we don't, I'm just going to keep resetting the day until we do, because at this point we're still using the Yeti Tooth Sword, which is nice right now, but the Galaxy Sword is just so much better, so we really need to go ahead and get that. These baby slimes are really annoying. The big slimes will sometimes split up into baby slimes after you kill them. Usually they do. There's like a rare chance they just die and don't drop any baby slimes, but when there's a bunch of baby slimes, they just are hard to hit. They jump all around, and if you get them like cornered like this, they're easy to take out just like the regular slimes, but again, they have so much health and they're just a pain to deal with. Now to the right you can see some crates. The crates are pretty nice. You can get a lot of stuff from them, including like weapons and rings. The lucky ring I think is a rare drop, which would be great if we got. It's a ring that when you wear, it's just permanent +1 luck as you wear it. I have some cherry bombs that I'm probably going to use to blow up that line of rocks. Again, I wouldn't recommend cherry bombs. And actually in that regard, I wouldn't recommend cherry bombs or regular bombs because they take coal to craft, and we want to keep our coal. So mega bombs, bigger explosion radius, they don't require coal, they're just better. But again, we can buy coal from Clint, so there is some pros and cons to both, so it's not always bad to use them. Now here's a better example of this floor where there's a lot more clusters of rocks. There's some iridium, and we can blow up quite a bit. And look at that, it's our first prismatic shard. 4% chance from each iridium node, so we finally got lucky and got one. You'll see this serpent coming at me. You gotta time the swings nicely, and since you knock the serpents back, you often will have a lot of time to do like actions like mining rocks and eating stuff and whatnot in between, so I recommend doing that so that you're maximizing your time. We're gonna go down the staircase. Purple mushrooms are a lot better than red mushrooms. They sell for 250 gold at base price, and they actually restore a lot of health and energy, almost like the full bar, which they can come in handy if you're low on health or energy and you find one, then you're saved. There's a nice place for a mega bomb. The bombs will damage enemies, and you'll see me right there finish off that serpent because I was already working on it, but the other one I didn't bother killing because I didn't do any damage to it yet. I already got the staircase, so it's better to just skip over it and move on. These floors are nice again for the coal carts, but they just take a long time to traverse. We got lucky and got ourselves a hole, but I do notice the iridium and a ruby there. Normally I wouldn't go out of my way for a ruby alone, but the iridium is usually worth it to go out of your way for. And as you can see there, we got ourselves another shard, which is very nice. I will likely eat the purple mushroom if I want to restore health. I think that's what I'm doing right here, contemplating what to eat. Usually whatever you have the least of, you want to eat. So I just have the one purple mushroom, so all I have to do is eat one of it, and then it's out of my inventory. On the other hand, I have a couple of cactus fruits, quite a few mushrooms, so eating one of those or a few of those aren't going to completely rid of from my inventory. And again, we want to keep our inventory nice and tidy, so always eat what you have least of. And this floor is a big floor. There's a lot of rocks, so it's a lot harder to get a ladder. These floors are the floors you want to skip. The ones that are like narrow and you can't really bomb, you can't really see the whole map. These ones are just way better to use a staircase and skip. We're a little bit early on in our run as a whole, so I don't want to use too many staircases. But this probably would have been a justified situation for one. There was a nice cluster of rocks over there, so we do manage to get ourselves a ladder. And you can see we got a ladder right off the bat here, but I do want to get that iridium. Iridium takes quite a few hits to mine, even with our upgrade pickaxe. It'll go quicker once we have the iridium pickaxe, but it still takes quite a bit to mine, so usually you want to use bombs to blow up iridium, just goes much faster. And I blow up the mummy for the fun of it. Spiral floors. Spiral floors, once you see it, if there's an iridium ore node or something good, go for it, but if not, just skip it. And right here, why am I still going? I should just be skipping it right now. There's nothing good. There's nothing good. There's a jade down there, but other than that, there's like nothing. And eventually I'm like, yeah, I should just skip the floor. These floors are nice. Again, all the small ones are nice. There's a staircase right there, so that's cool. Whenever we get little clusters of gold like that, it's nice. Generally, if there's a cluster of gold with some other rocks, blow it up with a bomb just so it goes quicker. And I'm gonna place this bomb here. Here's a prime example of swinging early in order to kill the serpent. And there's also an example of just tanking the damage because there's really nowhere to run to, and I want to bomb it, so I'm just going to lay down the bomb, and it's okay. We can heal our health pretty easily. We have a good amount of health and energy restoring items. You can see I paused in order to use the block skill on my sword. The thing about blocking with your sword that's really nice is even if you're facing in the complete opposite direction away from the serpent or whatever enemy it is, you'll still block it and not take any damage. So, which doesn't make too much sense, but it's nice nonetheless. Another spiral floor, I mined the iron and then learned from my mistake and just skipped the whole floor. These floors are also really good to skip. They are long, and whenever there's long corridors, you don't get as many rocks and you can't blow them up as nicely. The one thing it's got going for it is those crates down there. There'll always usually be some crates down here, which can give quite an assortment of stuff, which is always nice. But after getting those crates, I should have just made a staircase, crafted a staircase, and went down it because I'm trying to kill the slimes right here, wasting time. The iridium, definitely not a waste of my time. Iridium's always good to go for. And you can see right there, it was a crab. Sometimes the bombs won't blow up the rock on the crab. Oh, another thing crabs drop is crab cakes, which can be useful. Eventually we're just going to want our spicy eel buff, and whenever we use magic rock candy, obviously we'll want that buff. And I craft a staircase because I'm kind of tired of that floor. Gold cluster is always nice to blow up. Got ourselves an iridium bat. Iridium bats are pretty easy to kite. They aren't as fast as the serpents, but they do deal a little bit more damage, so they've got that going for them, I guess. they do drop some nice stuff. They can drop iridium ore and energy tonics, health tonics, a mega bomb, solar essence, and battery packs actually. So if you have the time to kill them, mine some rocks in between hits, they're worth it. Now the serpent right here is slowly moving towards us. At this point you can obviously see how eating something will freeze time. That's not the case in multiplayer. You'll be invulnerable in multiplayer when you eat something, but it doesn't freeze time because time never freezes because it's multiplayer. Right here I place it just a bit short of the gold, and as you can see it blew up some of the rocks to the right of those gold, like the 2 gold to the right of them, but not to the left, which I don't know, that was kind of weird to me, but sure. We've made it all the way down to floor 69, so we're getting pretty deep. We should start to see a lot more iridium nodes. We're a little unlucky here as we don't have a single one, but generally you're gonna see a lot more once you get to like past floor 70, 80. You should start seeing nodes like every floor. Another unlucky example on this floor, but that's okay. Again, those floors are really nice to use bombs on. But right here, perfect place to bomb some iridium ore, some other metal ore nodes. And with this bat, we want to do things in between fighting the bat. As you can see there, I was a little bit sloppy. I'm going to have to heal myself. We need a crab cake just for the defense boost and because it heals quite a bit of health. Right here, we're fighting 3 enemies at once, which is always a good thing. It's like multitasking. You're doing more things at once, just like we're mining while we're trying to deal damage to the bats. That bat's going to take too long to kill, so I skip doing that. Another mine floor. Iridium nodes, always mine them. If they're just like one like that, it's better to mine them than blow them up. Don't want to waste a bomb. And the coal cart is always very nice. And I was a bit sloppy there. I didn't pick up all of the coal, which definitely should have done that. Star floors are always nice because you can blow up almost the whole floor with the bomb. And we get another prismatic shard there, which is excellent. We're up to what, 3 now? And this floor, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 visible iridium nodes already. I should probably use a bomb here to blow them up. But yeah, floor 80 now, we're starting to see lots of iridium on the floors. We've got ourselves an iridium bat. Try to do some blowing up while we still try to fight off the iridium bat. And there's 2 of them. Probably a good idea to try to kill both of them, but we might skip doing that just to go down the staircase. It looks like we will finish them off. Again, when you're doing like 2 at once, it's twice as efficient as doing 1, so might as well try to get the loot from them. And we do get some ore, which is nice. Look at that gold cluster. That's really nice to see. The bomb only costs like 4 or 5 gold ore, and we're gonna get like 25 gold ore from it maybe. I guess we'll see when we pick it up, but that's a lot of gold ore right there. Definitely worth using a bomb, or else it would take way too long to mine. 30 gold ore, wow, very nice. And there's a good amount of other nodes on this floor, including a jade node, some iron nodes, and 3 holes. Holes will always be the same no matter what, so if you ended up picking a different one, it doesn't change anything. There used to be a bug in multiplayer where if you took a hole in Skull Cavern, it would be a different amount of floors dropped per player, but that is fixed now, which is nice. And even if you take different holes, it'll always be the same amount if you're on the same floor. And as you saw there, we got ourselves another prismatic shard, which is excellent. We're going to eat some of our mushrooms to heal back up. And some more iridium right off the bat. Getting really lucky here with the iridium nodes. And the prismatic shards, already up to 4. That's kind of insane considering we don't even have the galaxy sword. We haven't really used that many staircases. And today's just a good humor luck day, not a super luck day. So kinda crazy luck here. Look at all these iridium nodes. It also, for the enemies at least, when we kill the enemies, it is really nice to have the burglar's ring, because look at how many bombs we're getting from those serpents. I was a bit careless there and didn't pick up the bomb. Definitely wouldn't have taken any time to just pause, pick up the bomb, but I was rushed. Purple mushrooms, I'll probably pick it up just to eat and restore my health. It's a little tricky to manage your inventory when it's full. I try to throw out the topaz real quick. Get the mushroom, eat it. Topaz definitely not worth keeping. Not sure why I'm keeping it right now. It's only worth 80 gold. But I'm holding on to it for some reason. The mummy we can corner against the rocks, which is nice. It'll allow us to kill it a lot faster. And then we can also use a bomb here since there's a nice cluster of rocks. And the next floor is going to be floor 99. Now, those who have played Stardew Valley will likely know on floor 100, Mr. Key is waiting for us, but you'll see soon that won't be the case. You actually have to read the secret note that tells you there's a secret on floor 100 in Skull Cavern before that cutscene can happen. So we will go for this iridium first before we go there, but making it to floor 100 won't do anything special for us. Something interesting that I noticed about this dive into Skull Cavern is we actually haven't gotten any treasure floors, which at this point I figured we would have gotten at least one, but nonetheless we're still getting very lucky with the amount of iridium and prismatic shards we're getting. And what do we get here? A little bit more iridium. We're about to pass out. Oh, and obviously the one we did on floor 99, we got another prismatic shard, which is awesome. We got level 9 mining, level 7 combat, and we're at the end of the video now. Look at everything we've got there. 161 iridium or 5 prismatic shards. That's pretty lucky if you ask me, especially considering this is our first month in spring of Stardew Valley, and we don't even have the galaxy sword yet. I hope this dive was enjoyable and this video was helpful. If you want to see the next one, please consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.